We know it's a tumultuous time for tech giants, and Google now confirming a second data breach affecting more than 52 million users on Google+, announcing it'll shut down what has really been a troublesome social network 4 months earlier than planned. Google+ going away. This right before the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, is taking the hot seat on Capitol Hill tomorrow. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle investigating various issues related to the largest search engine in the world. So ahead of that, Adam Lashinsky, Fortune's executive editor and Fox News contributor, joins us to talk about Google. So we can break this down, Adam, to 2 or 3 big issues, and I would start, I guess, with privacy. You made one allusion to that already, but is this kind of a Mark Zuckerberg repeat for the Google CEO tomorrow? How do you think he'll answer the questions about privacy?
I don't think it'll be a Mark Zuckerberg repeat in that it's difficult to pin this sort of, egregious democracy-breaking actions on Google that we've seen over the last year at Facebook, and it's even more difficult for members of Congress to articulate what privacy concerns they might have about Google. So my point is, I think Google's issues on this topic are more esoteric, and therefore the conversation will be a little less, I don't know, emotional or,
right,
exciting.
Yeah, they really went after, and, there were issues, I think, with the understanding of technology from some of the members of Congress with the Zuckerberg hearings, but they did try to go after him on those issues. Now, the one thing that we've seen from Facebook, and maybe we see it tomorrow from Google, is this idea that, regulation in this regard is almost inevitable.
Well, this is a very savvy company, and of course, the United States is the least of their worries right now. They're far more concerned about what regulators in Europe are going to do to them. So, yes, I think if your point is that we should expect Pichai to be accommodating of the members of Congress, right, I think we will. Because remember, as soon as he's off as soon as the cameras go off, his legions of lobbyists will go in and say, not so fast. So, yeah, I would look for a public comment along those lines.
They'll hit him on a couple of other things. One's going to be China. Google is already, making these plans to supposedly set up a search engine in China, which would be open to being censored because, well, it is China after all. So how does he handle that?
I don't know. I think this could be the most interesting topic that they discuss because you have a one-company case study here of the difficulty of operating globally today. Google left China more or less voluntarily while other multinational companies were trying very hard to go into China. And they said, somewhat self-righteously, we are not going to allow them to censor us. And now they appear to be back at the very same time that they're saying, we're not so sure we want to work with the United States Defense Department. So right. I think, this is Congress after all, so let's not get our hopes up. But it could be a very intelligent conversation asking a big, important company, why now? How are you thinking through this, in other words?
And you're right. You caught yourself. Don't get our hopes up, because especially sometimes with these House hearings, it does get you hope for intelligence, and you don't necessarily always get that. On the final point, a political point, you got a guy in Pichai who is, an engineer by training, obviously coming out of Google, but really a product guy, not a political guy like, say, Eric Schmidt, who ran the company for years. So how will he handle the accusations that Google's biased in particular against conservatives? Republicans are going to bring that up.
Sure, and you might point out not even American-born, so almost an apolitical type of business executive. So this is the sort of most explosive but least substantive issue that he might discuss, in that I think we know that what Google really cares about with its algorithms is making money, and they could care less if it's a chimpanzee or a Republican or whoever paying them money. And I think he will say that far more politely than I just said. He will stress that the algorithm is a math equation and that it can't be biased because, gosh, we're just trying to provide the best search results.
Yeah, it's a matter of how he explains it and whether he provides openings to come back at him. Adam will obviously be watching tomorrow. Thanks as always. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.